Hi there, Internet. I'm Pulver the Polar Bear, and welcome to another episode of the Microbear Gourmet, where today we are trying Hungry Man, and it was like, yeah, backyard barbecue, smoking backyard barbecue. My hair's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. If you're wondering where the 200 like sub mini special thing is, I'm actually gonna film that once I get my new camera, which I have decided that I'm doing. It's gonna be pretty spendy, but it should upgrade the quality of the videos on the channel pretty significantly. Audio quality shouldn't be a problem anymore. It records in 1080p, so should be good stuff. Um, as far as this TV dinner here goes, before I kind of started on it, I have to say it was an odyssey to put this thing together. Um, Not by like conventional food standards, but by microwave food standards. You kind of have to jump through some hoops. Let me read you the microwave instructions here. Uh, all right, so it comes with a brownie, some meat. One of them's chicken, and one of them like it's pork shaped to look like a rib, so it's like the McRib basically. Um, there's corn and home style mashed potatoes, which seems to be mashed potatoes with butter. So apparently, home style mashed potatoes are really lazy mashed potatoes, which I'm okay with. But yeah, remove film from brownie. Okay. Cut slit in film over each remaining item. Like, all right, you do with your fork. Is what I use. I use whatever fork I'm gonna eat with to cut holes and stuff. Then microwave on high for 3.5 minutes. Cool. Now, carefully remove brownie with a fork and set aside, which I did, and it's back in there now. I threw it back in once it was done cooking. Uh, Turn back film, like pull the film off. Rearrange chicken and pork, and stir potatoes. Then replace film. I didn't know what they meant by rearrange chicken and pork, like tastefully rearrange? Like, was I supposed to do like feng shui? I don't know. I kind of moved them away from each other and flipped them over. So hopefully that was enough rearranging, and they're okay. I assume they're fine. I probably could have not touched them and they'd have been fine. I just like rearrange is so ambiguous and non-specific. All right, return tray to microwave oven. Microwave on high for 2.5 more minutes. Then let stand 1 minute in the microwave oven. Fun fact, that doesn't actually do anything as far as I know to help like complete cooking or whatever. What that does is make it so that people won't burn themselves by trying to like take it out of the microwave and eat it immediately and then sue the company. I do believe that that is the actual purpose behind the fact that every TV dinner tells you to like wait a minute or two. It just doesn't want you to burn yourself and then sue them. Then once you get it out, you have to stir the potatoes again. So these potatoes have been well stirred. But I mean, to their credit, they look pretty good. Nutrition facts. Serving size is the whole thing, so that's standard with most TV dinners. 670 calories, only 230 from fat, which isn't actually that bad considering this is a Hungry Man dinner and they're supposed to be all about like the manly, delicious food. 25 grams of total fat, 12 grams saturated, 80 milligrams of cholesterol, good or bad, who knows. Lots of sodium. That's like the really bad thing in here is the sodium. 1,390 milligrams, which is almost 60% of like the recommended daily intake for a healthy person of sodium. So you've eaten this and you pretty much had your sodium for the day. 81 grams of total carbohydrates, which is a lot of carbohydrates. Unfortunately, most of that is sugar. It's like 12 dietary fiber and 51 grams of sugar. Wow, that's a lot of. I assume some of that, like most of that's probably in the brownie, but I think there's also some in the sauce, which is supposed to be like a Chipotle barbecue sauce, which sounds good to me. 30 grams of protein, of course, for the meat in there. I mean, it's definitely got what you're gonna need to like get up and get going. So if that's what you're looking for, like you're looking to load your body with, protein, carbs, everything you need, Definitely a good meal. Just maybe drink a lot of water that day to offset the sodium intake. 8% vitamin A, 15% vitamin C, 10% calcium, and 20% iron. That's a good iron content in that. Um, and yeah, so I'm just checking here because I'm curious. All right. The first ingredient for the chicken is chicken, and the first ingredient for the pork is pork. So they're actually chicken and pork, and not like rat. Um, so yeah, and they advertise on the front too 30 grams of protein. So it's going for the manly man thing, which again I'm all about the like let's just eat delicious food. It's microwavable. Who cares if it's healthy? Not that I'm like a manly man, oh, with the flexing and the grunting, but I'm all for delicious food, and most of the time I really don't care if it's healthy or not. I've been trying to lose weight recently, but I still like tasty food, you know. That's not really something that changes. That's what she looks like, um, and I'm gonna try this from like what I'm least interested in to what I'm most interested in. Oh, actually, no, I think I'm going to try the mashed potatoes first because that's what I buried my fork in and it's got mashed potatoes on it. Smell like mashed potatoes. They had a little credit to this company, though. They put actual butter in there, which is really nice because most companies it's just like creamy mashed potatoes, no butter, and you gotta add your own or it's kind of meh. It's super meh. Those are some good creamy mashed potatoes. I assume the corn is supposed to be sweet corn, but at the end of the day, corn's corn. I mean, it's gonna be corn, you know. Yep, that's corn. 100% corn. Uh, oh my, corn kernel. When I try, there we go. When I try to do that voice, it like opens my throat up and a kernel of corn snuck in. Hey, what's going on down here? So, yeah, that's just corn. It's the mandatory vegetable. They need to have one in there, you know. I think there's some like directive somewhere that says every TV dinner must have a vegetable. So let's try the. I'm actually gonna leave the brownie for last just because the brownie is super gooey, and once I get it on my fork, it's not gonna get off my fork, and I want to try the meat and stuff without like chocolate. So that's the chicken. See, it just looks like a little kind of chicken patty that you get and fry up. The barbecue sauce smells really good. My mouth skills there. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off of that because it didn't get a great taste. It was all right, but there we go, much better. The chicken itself is actually pretty intensely bland, but I think the sauce saves it because the sauce is very tasty. So, so yeah, that's definitely just kind of make sure you get a spoon or whatever and bathe it in the sauce. And let's try the pork patty, which showing you the pork patty here. It looks again like a McRib sort of thing. I'm gonna do one of those for the show at some point. I really next time it comes around, I'm gonna come hell or high water. I'm gonna get out and do a McRib for the show. Smells a little different from the chicken, but mostly what you smell when you get the whiff is the sauce. So kind of got to taste it to get the full effect. Well, the pork patty is definitely where you're gonna get your delicious meat taste from. Very good pork flavor. Mixes well with the sauce. Chicken, again, it's bland, but the sauce saves it. But the pork patty, quite good. Now I'm gonna try to get the barbecue sauce off this thing before I take a bite. Actually, let me just take a bite of the brownie with my hand. That'll be. It's kind of gooey. It's actually quite gooey, but smells like a brownie. I think there's a piece of corn in that. Weird corn brownie. Just gonna go ahead. It's not very big. I'm gonna go ahead and eat the rest of it and get as best of a taste as I can. The brownie is actually kind of underwhelming. Um, so, as far as the taste goes, good overall. Corn's corn. I like corn, so that's good for me. Um, might add a little something like some pepper or something just to kick it up a notch, but it's fine. Mashed potatoes are good mashed potatoes. Again, I appreciate that they added butter. Most companies will not bother, and they're nice and creamy. They've got a good potato taste. Brownie, it's fine. It's not great. It really doesn't have a very rich flavor. I was expecting it to have a bit more of a rich flavor. It doesn't. Pretty bland. Not in any way offensive though. The chicken patty, again, it itself not very good, but the sauce kind of saves it because the sauce has a good flavor and a bit of a tang. Nothing that you'd like go, whoa, that's spicy, but like, oh, there's a little bit of a crackle in there. And the pork patty, I think, is the highlight of the whole thing. It's quite tasty, and the sauce complements it very well. Excuse me. So, just having all sorts of body stuff going on this episode. So as far as taste goes, good overall. The price on these things is a little high. They tend in the upper threes, lower fours, which is a little. I mean, you get a good amount of food, but I don't know if it's that much food kind of thing. Like, not quite enough for me to take a point off or put a point on or whatever. But just, I feel like they could be cheaper for what you get in them. Though the quality again does show in things like putting the good sauce, putting the butter in the mashed potatoes. So, you get what you pay for kind of thing. I just think you pay a little less and still get the same amount of quality. So, overall, it's got so many regions in it, and some of them bring it up, some of them bring it down. That's why I'm like, I'd say the brownie is kind of a downer because it's really pretty bland. I'd say the chicken patty is a bit of a downer, and it's really pretty bland, but everything else is pretty good, and the pork patty is remarkably good. I think they make one that's just those pork patties, though. It's like barbecued ribs or whatever. I might get that one at some point and do that for the show, too. But I'm going to go ahead and give that a 7 out of 10, and I will recommend that. Just, have salt and pepper. Like, have a little bit of condiment nearby that you could use for the corn and the mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes could be fine on their own, but they'd be even better with, like, a little bit of salt, pepper kind of thing. So yeah, 7 out of 10. I do recommend the Hungry Man's Smokin' Backyard Barbecue. And this has been a long video, but thank you for sticking with me, and thank you again for getting me to getting me to 200 subscribers. I'm super psyched about that. That's the big reason why I decided I had to go out and buy a camera. I'm like, all right, this is getting serious. I gotta go get that camera now. So I'm like I said, I'm gonna film that 200 sub mini special on that new camera. So as soon as I get that, which I'm gonna get around Black Friday-ish, I'm looking to get hopefully pretty cheap. So look forward to that next couple of weeks coming up here, probably early December sort of deal. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.